Good evening, Range of Beauties, and welcome to the Pink Politics Show. No one over at MSNBC or CNN talks about it, but for more than 50 years, the Democratic Party has been using Black American women voters to empower Hispanics and themselves. For example, we have one Democratic Senator, Chuck Schumer, who appeared to be gravely dissatisfied, angry really, with the lack of Hispanics in American politics. He told then-President Barack Obama to nominate Judge Sonia Sotomayor to the Supreme Court in 2009. Now, keep in mind that 96% of Black American women voted for Obama in 2008. Black American women voted at a higher percentage rate for Obama than any other group across gender, race, and ethnicity, and along with Black American men, played the most decisive role in Obama's historic election. Picking a Black American female judge who reflects the values and sensibilities of Black American women's community as a nominee for the Supreme Court would have seemed the logical choice. After all, Black American women voters voted overwhelmingly for Obama. This voter loyalty, coupled with the fact that there has never been a Black American female Supreme Court judge, should have ensured the nomination of a Black American woman. Unfortunately, it didn't. The Democrats' choice was not logical, nor was it fair. 1 year into his presidency, Obama overlooked Black American female judges at the urging of Schumer and selected Sotomayor. This strategic move put Hispanics, a recently arrived immigrant group, on par with Black Americans in terms of equal representation on the Supreme Court. And because Clarence Thomas is described as the most conservative member of the Supreme Court, it's fair to say that Black Americans don't have anyone to represent them on the Supreme Court. Now, you'll probably assume that Chuck Schumer truly cares about Hispanics. Lobbying Obama to select a Hispanic judge for the Supreme Court would give one the impression that he wanted Hispanics to have a seat at the table. But you'd be wrong, absolutely wrong. Schumer does not care about Hispanics at all. To Schumer and the Democratic Party, Hispanics in particular and immigrants in general are just a means to an end. And of course, the end is the same 5-letter word that the American drama series starring hip-hop artist Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is named after. Power. Democrats are using Hispanics to gain power, and political power to be exact. The Democrats have calculated that they can win elections and govern our country in ways that don't benefit Black Americans by bringing in a new population of people. Democratic officials like Chuck Schumer and strategists like James Carville think that immigrants, especially Hispanic immigrants, are reliable votes for them. Choosing Sotomayor was a cold and calculating move. Schumer wants the Hispanic voters they've brought into our country to continue to favor Democrats over Republicans. So he and other Democrats think pandering is the way to get Hispanic votes. Giving Hispanics their first Supreme Court judge at the expense of Black American women voters was a gift to maintain and possibly increase Hispanic voters' loyalty and political power. But Schumer's not the only one in American politics using your community to empower Hispanics and the Democratic Party. Barack Obama is just as guilty. Obama, of course, was the president who nominated Sotomayor, but as we just discussed, Schumer was the driving force behind that nomination, or as it should be known in Black America, political scheme. Obama didn't seem to have much of a choice at the time. It is important to note, however, that there were 2 other times where Obama had an opportunity to pick a Supreme Judge and he overlooked Black American women. There is no evidence of Schumer or anyone else urging Obama to jilt Black American women. Now, we're not saying that they didn't, but there's no evidence to prove otherwise. In 2016, in the latter days of the Obama administration, Barack used his power, which was considerable at this time, to undermine Black American women's community political power. While maintaining the favorability edge over his rivals with Black American women voters, he selectively recruited his Secretary of Labor, Tom Perez, to run against Black American Congressman Keith Ellison of Minnesota for the chair of the Democratic National Committee. Ellison announced his candidacy a full month before Obama's choice, Perez. Ellison was gaining momentum and seemed like a sure bet to win the position as Democratic chair. He had the support of many of the top Democrats, but Obama worked feverishly to put an end to that momentum. He found someone to prevent Ellison's election, and that someone was Tom Perez. As a result, Ellison lost the closely contested election. Now, the key question regarding this DNC contest is, why did Obama encourage Perez to run against Ellison, who had announced his candidacy a full month before Perez? As most political commentators have noted, Perez was indistinguishable from Ellison in terms of political ideology. There was no real difference between the two politically. Ellison supported the Democratic agenda with just as much fervor as Perez. So, selecting Perez makes no sense at all to unsuspecting Black American women voters. But for the Black American women voters who are aware of the Democratic Party's plan to empower Hispanics and themselves at the expense of Black American women voters, it makes all the sense in the world. Obama chose Perez despite Ellison's popularity because Perez could help the Democratic Party accomplish their goals. He could help those who control the party like Schumer, Nadler, Schiff, and Pelosi continue to push anti-Black American policies. He could also increase the political power of Hispanics while at the same time decreasing the political power of Black American women's community. What Obama and the Democrats did was treacherous and devious. It's also another reason why Black American women voters should stay home on Election Day 2020, and in fact, stay home during every election after that. You should let the Democratic Party collapse. Democrats are using you, sis. There are just two of many examples. You should not continue to let it happen. Thank you for joining us. I'm Taylor Washington, and this is Pink Politics, where Black womanhood and politics converge.